I'm here with Jasmine today. Alright, so we're going to do a little interview of Jasmine, who's been living in Japan for a while. Alright, so do you think you could do like a little self-intro, like maybe like your name, hometown, when you came to Japan, stuff like that?
Okay, so yes, I'm Jasmine. I'm from Washington, D.C. in America. I've been in Japan for like 5 or 6 years now, surprisingly. Japanese is not that good, but I've survived. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time here in Japan.
That's awesome. Okay, so did you come here for study abroad or for work?
So originally I did come to Japan as a study abroad student, and then I went back to America, graduated, and then I really wanted to like live here, so I made the big leap immediately after college.
Interesting. So it was like an exchange program?
Yeah. My college and a university in Akita had a program, like a partnership. So they sent students from their college and vice versa.
Oh, I see.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's really
I was
cool.
there for a whole year in Akita.
Oh, interesting. Did you like major in Japanese?
I did not.
Oh.
I majored in international business and management, and then I minored in East Asian studies with a focus on Japan and Japanese. Yeah.
Okay. So like, when did you first become interested in like Japanese or Japan?
Just like from like a kid.
Oh.
So I was watching like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, okay, nice.
And Yasha.
Uh-huh.
And so from there I just grew more interested in Japanese culture and all that.
It's really interesting. So like, I guess, when did you start thinking about studying abroad in Japan?
I think I was watching an anime actually, and they had like an exchange student. So I probably saw that when I was like in junior high school. So as a high school student, I was like, I'm gonna go to Japan. And I did apply to programs, but unfortunately the earthquake in 2011 had happened, and the program I had applied for, they canceled. So instead I did a study abroad in Italy actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as a high school student, but then ultimately
Okay.
I did get to go to Japan in college.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So did you like start taking Japanese classes when you came to Japan, or like did you take some like beginner classes back at like your college in the US?
I officially like took classes in college, and I did that for 2 years. Then I studied abroad for a year, and then I continued a little bit back senior year back in America.
Interesting. So I guess, can you tell me about your experience like in Akita? Was that your first time in Japan?
That was my first time.
Oh, okay.
So basically I had come to Japan like end of August, and we came to Tokyo and we were there for 3 days, and then just moved to Akita and stayed there for like, the whole year.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so it's very countryside, Inaka. But there, at that time, like before COVID, there were so many festivals that happened, so it always like kept it really interesting. They have the Kanto festival with the lanterns that are like, I don't know, they have bamboo sticks with like all these lanterns, and it's like
really?
very heavy, and they'll like march through the streets balancing it on their hand like this or on their forehead.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was really fascinating to watch. Winter time they have the Kamakura festival with the igloos,
Oh, yeah.
so you can go inside of them and drink sake and have yakimuchi. There's like a dog festival, a candy festival.
Wow.
They have a really big firework festival, so that was really fun.
Okay, so do you feel like there's like still plenty to do in like the countryside?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Do you need like a car to get around?
It would be more convenient to have a car because I didn't have one when I was a student there. So we had to wait for the bus, which came every 30 minutes or an hour, and the train would come every hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And last train was like 9 p.m. or something.
Oh, wow, that's a lot earlier than
Yeah. So if you were going to the city and then missed your last train, you would have to take a taxi back, which was a little expensive. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did you live in the dorms when you were in Akita?
I did. So I lived with a full-time like Japanese student, and so the university I went to was kind of different than your typical one because it was more focused on like English learning. So they wanted to have a foreign student with a Japanese student so they could use English more.
Okay.
So that's probably why my Japanese did not improve.
Did you get along with your roommate?
I had 2 different roommates at different point in time. My first roommate loved her. Second roommate had some issues, but overall it was good.
Okay, that's cool. So I don't know. I feel like I guess like what were some concerns or like worries you had before coming to Japan versus like I guess things that you were looking forward to?
So originally, as a foreign exchange student, I didn't have too many concerns because my home university already like prepared this whole like, program partnership arrangement for us, so I didn't have to worry too much, which was nice. As a working adult moving to Japan, I also had made prior arrangements. I made sure I had a job secured before coming to Japan, and they were really accommodating and helpful, like getting everyone set up and the living arrangements and everything that needed to be done. So I didn't have to actually worry too much. I don't know. I'm very like adventurous, so going to new places doesn't really like scare me too much. How about for you? Like, you lived in America before, but then
Yeah. I lived in the US for about I think 20 years. Yeah, because I also came as an exchange student. Yeah, but I'd been here before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my background's a little bit different because I already spoke Japanese before coming. Yeah, so I wasn't really too worried.
I mean, I guess like when you mentioned that, because I had studied priorly in school Japanese, that did help me. For example, like opening a bank account.
Oh, I see.
So when I originally came to Japan, I was an English teacher, and one of the other people who joined the company at the same time as me did not speak Japanese at all.
Oh,
And so we had gone to the bank, and he had entered the bank first, and was trying to say that he wanted to make a bank account, and they handed him a sign that said, "Come back with an interpreter."
Oh no.
Yeah. And so because I had known like enough Japanese at that point, I like stepped in. I was like, I can interpret for him.
Wow,
And so I like helped him, both of us like get our bank accounts then, but that was very alarming right there at the start.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Wait, did you not open a bank account when you came for study abroad?
I had a local bank in Akita. I had Akita Bank. Yeah. Yeah, so they don't have that in Tokyo, so I needed a new bank account here.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are like worried about whether they can like, I guess, make friends or like how to meet Japanese people or interact with them. Like, did you have any like issues there? Like, how did you actually end up making friends?
So a lot of my friends did come from my university as a student, but because a lot of them are really interested in like overseas culture and all that, so sadly they have moved from Japan. But the few people who are still here, they're maybe in Tokyo, but they're like very busy, so I don't get to like see them very often. So right now as a model, I do make friends that way. I have a lot of like hair and makeup artist friends or photographer, videographer friends. So just from my work, I'm able to meet new people that way. I guess if you're more adventurous and outgoing, maybe like going clubbing or would be like a fun, interesting way to meet people. Or I don't know, casually going up to someone on the street, but like no one does that.
No one does that.
Usually that's just like very creepy, honestly.
Have you had that experience?
Yeah, usually it's guys who are trying to like non-plan me, like pick me up. But I have interacted with a few people like at cafes and restaurants. More so like when I first had moved here and I was like asking like questions about things. And that's how we like had conversation start. Maybe I'd be like self-studying like some Japanese and then I wouldn't understand something, so I just casually would just ask someone next to me.
That's great.
Or like one time at a restaurant we were having ochazuke, and it was our first time eating this, and so there were two girls next to us and they saw that we were kind of like, how do we eat this?
Oh my gosh.
So they like showed us the proper way.
Oh, that's nice. I had that experience with like okonomiyaki.
Yeah, that's quite difficult.
Yeah.
Usually I leave it up to them to make it, because just like flipping it,
yeah, you make a mess.
it gets all over the place.
Like, can you kind of like, I guess, talk about when you came back to Japan after study abroad, and then like, I guess like the whole process of like how you got your first job until like, I guess like up until now, and what you're doing now.
Yeah. So again, for my first job, I was applying like overseas, like in America. And so originally I applied for only English teaching positions. And I had like Skype interviews and even like some like in-person interviews. But yeah, so that was taken care of overseas. And then actually like getting here, that's a little bit tricky though, because technically you shouldn't like go to a foreign country with like a one-way ticket if you don't have like a proper visa. So it's best to secure a job beforehand and like get your visa beforehand. And then when you get there, I don't know, it's best to do proper research beforehand, I would say. Because yeah, you have to like, I don't know, like buy furniture, for example. So how are you gonna like bring that to your like new apartment and all that? So yeah, it's a lot of like prep work beforehand, honestly. Yeah.
So like, how many jobs did you apply for like before you came? Was it hard?
I don't remember now at this point. But a lot of like the offers I was getting, like pay-wise, was not that good.
Oh. Okay.
English teaching in general is not like very well paid.
Yes.
And I did apply for the JET program, but they would not tell me where they were going to place me. And I didn't really want to live in the countryside again.
I see.
So I ended up working for a company that was based in Tokyo that also had an office in Osaka, so I could choose between
okay, that's
either.
nice.
And I really did want to give out like big city living. Like Tokyo is like one of the biggest cities in the world. So yeah.
Did you like, I guess like you're talking about like having to plan ahead with like furniture and like your apartment and stuff. So like, how did that go? Because I feel like a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah, so I was actually like very fortunate. For example, one of my friends, she was from Taiwan and had lived in Tokyo for the year before me, and then was already going to move back to her home country. So basically, I got some of her items. So that was like a nice like like starting point right there. And because I also had other friends, they like had just things that they didn't need from their household, so they just gave it to me. But again, like the company I was working with, they had, honestly, they provided like really good lists of like resources of places you could go to find cheaper furniture, or just like furniture stores in general.
Did you go to Nitori?
Of course, went to Nitori. I'm so glad IKEA is like becoming more accessible here. They have a location like Shibuya or Juku, so but delivery is nice. Yeah. But disposal, that's tricky.
Oh yeah.
Very difficult. I have moved like since to like a different apartment, and I had a loft bed in my previous place. So figuring out what to do with that, like how to dispose of it properly, that was tricky because Japan has their specialized disposal system. You can't just toss anything in there, especially if it's a large item like that. So I managed to give it away to someone from the Sayonara sales on Facebook.
Okay.
And that's also a good way of getting furniture and items too.
There's another one that I was looking at, like, mottai-nai.
Yeah, right.
Something like that, yeah. But it's like, it's really annoying when you have to get rid of like large furniture because, you know, if you can't like donate it or like give it away to someone, then like you have to pay to get rid of it.
Exactly. And depending on like which area in Tokyo you live, the online system for registering to have them come pick it up could be like fully booked up for like a month, 2 months in advance. Yeah, so make sure you plan accordingly.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then again, like going back to like donations, like whenever I'm like sorting out my closet and stuff, like in the US we like donate.
Yeah, I would go to Goodwill, Salvation Army all the time, but here they don't have that.
Yeah, you just toss it.
I feel so bad. Right, which is why I go to like the Sayonara Montai sales and like post it there to see if anyone's like interested. And then I have tried bringing like old clothing to vintage stores, but oftentimes like they don't really want what you have, and if they do take it, they'll like give you like a penny. Like,
I got like 10 yen.
Like one time, I'm not even joking, I brought like 2 IKEA bags like full of clothing, and I think I got like $10. That was it. But yeah, this one place they said that they would dispose of the other items that they couldn't accept properly for me, which was nice. Yeah. But honestly, they probably just like resold it anyways. Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, I guess like people are probably curious about how much rent costs in Tokyo.
Yeah, no, Tokyo is like surprisingly affordable. I went back home like last month actually, and my friends were just telling me how bad the like rent prices were, and that their landlords were like increasing their rent like quite frequently, like multiple times like throughout the pandemic, which is like really cruel, honestly. But yeah, like you can find like central apartments like in Tokyo for under $1,000 for sure. But like in the States, like you spend like $1,000 to be living with roommates.
Right.
You can find that and have your own space here in Tokyo. Yeah.
That's true. Do you feel like the apartments here are pretty small though?
They are.
Right.
Yeah. But again, like, I mean, okay, so like my first apartment, I was very claustrophobic in. Yeah, I did actually have troubles with my first apartment. So originally I had selected a place, and the day before I was going to move in, the insurance company or something rejected me.
Oh no.
Like the real estate agency, the landlord, totally fine with me, but then all of a sudden, the day before, insurance company was not okay.
What?
So I had to scramble and like find a place like quickly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So what I ended up finding was very tiny.
Oh, I see.
So I surprisingly lived there for like a really long time because it was just really convenient, and because Tokyo keeps you like really busy. I honestly like wasn't really in there like too often, so it was fine. And I have other friends who also have like smaller apartment situations, and usually it's like older apartments maybe. No, even newer ones. I lied. I lied, yeah. But with older ones, especially if they're gonna like destroy the building, you can get really creative and do DIY projects. Because I had friends who like drilled in holes into the wall.
Oh,
because like
interesting.
the building was gonna get destroyed anyway, so they put additional like storage.
Okay, that's that's
which
cool.
made it like really convenient for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah. But newer places definitely cannot do that.
Right. Did you use like Sumo to find your apartment, or like what sites did you use?
So before coming to Japan, I was on, I think, Homes.
Oh, okay.
And Sumo.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this place looks cute. This one looks cute. And then when I brought these selections to the real estate agency, majority of them were already taken.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, it definitely, the turnover rate is like really quickly.
That's true.
Really quick here, just like in New York. Like a listing can go up and then by the end of that day, it's already like gone. So they did find some other places for me. But they always had to call and like double check if a foreigner was okay to be there.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. So that is an issue that you will run into as a foreigner in Japan.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like housing is such a pain here. Also, just like because you have to like really communicate with the real estate agent. Yeah, like I feel like there's like an extra step there.
Yeah. And just like the whole like initial costs are pretty ridiculous.
Oh yeah. I forgot what they're called.
Like the deposit and then the thank you money.
Yeah.
That you'll never see again because it's thank you money for letting me live there. The realtor fee and all these other additional
It's like a
stuff.
cleaning fee or something.
Right. Or there's the guarantor fee.
Oh yeah.
Because like oftentimes, especially if you're a foreigner, they'll make you get like a guaranteed company. So you have to pay them money.
Oh gosh.
So make sure you save up a lot of money before moving to Japan because it'll all just go towards your apartment.
Yeah, I see. Oh no, I've actually never lived in an apartment because I thought it was a pain.
Oh, okay.
So I've always been living in a share house.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like,
how was that?
it's really simple. Yeah, because like, I think most places have like a security deposit, but that's about it. Yeah, and then like, the rent's pretty cheap, and like, they do all like the trash and disposal stuff for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, places I've lived at, like, there's usually like other international students or like foreigners. So like, get like a nice mix of like all sorts of countries and like cultures. Yeah. So like,
Yeah, that's definitely a really great way to make friends too.
Right,
in the
right,
share
right.
house. For sure.
So the one I lived in had both like international students, immigrants, and like actual like Japanese people. So like, it was really nice. Like, it was like, really easy to get along with everyone.
Oh, wow.
I guess like that's another option if people are looking for like cheap accommodation, super simple.
And so for that kind of like living arrangement, you have like a shared bathroom
Yeah.
and the kitchen too, and the washing for your
Yeah.
clothing. Okay.
So like everything is shared except for like your room. It's literally like a dorm.
Okay. So you don't really have to worry about furniture
Yeah, exactly.
because it's already.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, like some places have like, you can get like your own fridge in your room, or like, yeah. And then depending on the place, they might have like a gym.
Oh, fancy.
Mine did.
I know that actually one of my really good friends, she lives in a share house and they had a pottery studio.
Oh, really? No way.
Yeah, I was like really surprised.
Wow.
And then that was like in the downstairs area, and then upstairs they had like a sewing room.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of like a artsy craftsy kind of share house.
Oh, that's really
And then their
cool.
other locations had like a different focus. I think one of them like had like a movie like theater
Oh,
room,
yeah.
and then like a bar space
Yeah.
where you could have fun, drink some with friends. Yeah. So definitely the share houses. I did actually originally look into.
Oh, really?
I think it was a social apartment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Those looked really nice, but actually it's a little expensive. Like for social apartment in particular, you can find just like normal apartments by yourself for that price. But then again, you don't have all the upfront initial costs
Right.
to worry about, and then they take care of everything for
Yeah.
you. Yeah. cons to living by yourself or
Yeah, that's
shared
true.
house.
Do you think you would ever like try like shared accommodation, or are you like happy living by yourself?
I'm happy to live by myself now. Yeah, no, after my last roommate situation that was kind of negative, I was very determined I'm going to live by myself.
Sure.
Yeah.